Okay, so I'm Fred, Frederick Dorjan, nice to see you. It's my first time in Zagreb, so first time in Croatia for all of us. I'm very proud to be here. So I'm in charge of sales and marketing for Europe in TCL. So I will do just a brief introduction because it's not too much about corporate today, but more about products. And I will quickly hand over the stage to Steven, who is head of supply chain and product, Steven Zahn, and Olivier Stevenou, who is head of products for Europe. I think it's a good opportunity for us to present our new range here today in Zagreb. Maybe you want to say something?
No, everybody knows everything about Agramservis.
Yeah, okay. So, and by the way, it's also a great pleasure to be hosted by Agramservis. We have had some discussion in the past on how to implement and how to sell the products of TCL and in terms of products in Croatia. I think we have come to a very good deal, very good discussions. So, because nothing could be happening without them. So, thank you very much. So I do the old style, just push the button. So basically, TCL is a very famous company. It's a company, a Chinese company, one of the biggest for C products and wine goods. And we have 30 years of age now, which is I think a decent age for this business. It's a company that has started very early to do business in Europe, like in the years 2004, 2005, so very early. And we have a big experience of doing business in Europe. So TCL portfolio is very wide. It goes from TVs, so brown goods and sound bars, to as well tablets, mobile phone. So because TCL is also operating a license for Alcatel phones, and more recently BlackBerry phones. So it's a very big asset we have in the company. We also sell air conditioning products and also some white goods like washing machines or fridge refrigerators. So it's a very big portfolio of products, but today in Europe we are operating mainly on TVs and smartphones. So actually those numbers are a little bit outdated, but there's not so many changes. You can't see here, but we are number 3 in TV. We are number 3 TV manufacturer. So actually it was also the case in 2016. We shipped 20 million TVs. 20 million TVs. Wow. So it makes us a big player right after Samsung and LG. So it's a big achievement. And we are also we're number 6 for display panel. As you may know, we have our own display, our own panel company, CSOT. So we'll see this in a later slide. We are totally vertically integrated, so we don't need anybody to make TVs actually, because we have our own panel factory. We are number 5 for mobile, and the rest is probably less relevant because it's in China, but we are still big players in the rest of the world in China. So our intention in Europe, of course, we've been here for some time. It's a very tough market. So it took us some time to enter and to build the basics based on, let's say, Western Europe first, and now we're ready to expand. It's very important for us. So it's 75,000 employees, so we have 3 of them today. It's really good. In 78 countries, 21 factories, and 23 R&D centers. So you see more or less where we are here on the map. And also Europe, if you carry on. We produce from Warsaw, from Zwiadów, which is in the area of Warsaw in Poland, for the European countries. So actually the parts come from China, but via train. So it takes not so much time now, it's not boat anymore. So it's all the Silk Road, if you may remember, by train. And after, I said 2 weeks, we can be able to produce.
By sea it's 45 days.
And by sea it's 6 weeks, yes. Even more actually, it's 8 weeks. 8 weeks. So, and then we just ship from here to all the countries. And Croatia as well. We have an R&D in France and our European HQ in France as well. So this is probably the most important slide I want to share with you, is that we are vertically integrated. So it means that we have our own panel. You'll see in the next slide actually here. With CSOT. We have our own modules, okay? Our own chassis, let's say. We produce our own TV and we do also the backlighting. So we are one of the 3 only in the world to be vertically integrated, together with Samsung and LG, and actually we are the only Chinese, of course, to be safe. So it brings us a lot of efficiency and a lot of capacity of production as well. And that's the CSOT factory roadmap. It's a very, very huge capital investment matter to produce panel. If you want to be independent, you need to invest a lot. You need to make big money. So actually, today we are having the phase 4, which is building up now, and it's generation 11. So it means you can cut larger panel in the factory actually. And I think now it places us still in the fifth, sixth position in Europe for panel. And actually, I'm not so sure what the production will be in a CSOT in the generation 11. Remember, Stephen?
Yeah, generation 11 mostly focus on 65 and 75 inches.
Yes, but for how many quantities will we be able to ship?
So, more or less we can produce like you see like 65 inches, we have 6 million units.
6 million units of
Yes.
65 inches.
Yes.
So we're going to be able to produce 65 and 75. In our previous, let's say, phase, we are really specialists in 32 and 55. When we say specialist, it means how we cut properly the glass, not to waste anything, and to make as many displays as possible. Yeah. So next one I think is that's the product part. So what I want you to remember from my 5 minutes or 10 minutes is really that TCL is a big player worldwide. We entered Europe a while ago with some success, but now we are in expansion phase. So that's why we come to you today to see how we can, through Agramservis, undertake new business opportunities. It's very important. TV is a big market everywhere, but of course it's big competition because it's big cake. Everybody wants to take a piece of the cake. But we are here, and we are an industrial company. So we have all the assets to produce, actually. And now we are also at a stage where we need to build the brand. It's very important. Because as you may know, we operate also under a Thomson brand in Europe, yeah, under license. But now, going forward, we need to push TCL more and more in the countries. So that's why we are with you here today to show you this. So what Olivier will show you now, actually, is a little bit of the product highlights and a little bit of the insights, the technology highlights. So I'm not sure if you are going to learn a lot. Maybe some of you are already very qualified in TV. Maybe some are not. But for the one who are not, it's very interesting because you see that Olivier will go deep inside into the technologies and how do you have a better picture, how do you have a better contrast, how do you have more PPI, etc. What is white color gamut, what is quantum dot, all those stuff that are still a bit complicated, but that makes also TCL one of the leading company for patents in the world. Actually, we are, I think, in the top 5 in China for patents, and China is the first country in the world for patents. So also a big innovation company, which actually I used from the slide before. The way we position our products is we are going to build a brand, and we have the quality of the A brand. We have the same quality as competition of the A brand. But now we just need to say it to the customers. It's very important. Otherwise, nobody will know. Okay. So innovation is key. We pretend to have very good quality of products in terms of innovation, which is features, but also design, as you can see here, and finally software, which is very important because the markets are more and more smart TV and UHD TV markets. Especially in your case here, smart is very important as well. Yeah. Okay. So that was just a quick introduction. I don't want to annoy you with many numbers on TCL. So just remember it's a big company, and we are here for you now to really try to see how we can leverage on business. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Olivier. I'm the head of product for TCL and for Thomson, head of product management for Europe. We're going to talk about TV. I'm not sure if you are technical, non-technical, more commercial. If it's going too fast, just tell me. If it's going too slow, just ask me to speed up. No worries. We should keep it interactive. I've been asked to do like 20-25 minutes PowerPoint and maybe 20-25 minutes demonstration. If you don't understand my English, also Igor, Goran, and the team, you help me. You already had that presentation, you already know a lot. So we're going to talk about three important things. Well, the range of TCL and Thomson, but really on the last part. And we're going to talk about the product highlights for this year, 2017. So on the product highlights, on the next slide, then we talk about picture quality. Later, we will talk about sound quality, and we will talk about internet or connected TVs. These are three important things in the TV domain, on the TV market, and also three very important things for TCL. So on the picture quality, you will hear a lot about technical terms, UHD premium, HDR, dimming technology, 10 bits, or white color gamut, all these kind of things. I'm going to explain quickly what it is, and sometimes I will tell you why TCL is doing a different job, or maybe better job than the competition.
Better.
Then on the 10 bits, this is a panel display technology. So this is related to the display. It's not about software, and it's not about algorithm, it's purely the display. So the panel. Here TCL is doing a better job than the competition because we have 10 bits everywhere on every UHD TV. Basically, a 10-bit panel allows to spread, analyze, and restitute more colors. So on the 10-bit side, here on the right, when you have more colors, more individual colors, it means that the transition between each color is much better because there are more in-between colors. On an 8-bit, we talk about 258 times 258 times 258 colors is around 1 million, 1.6 million if I remember. Here we talk about 1064 times 1064 times 1064. We talk about billions of colors. So much more colors. Two benefits: smooth gradients, no bending. So bending, I'm not sure here if you see really well on the projector, but sometimes between the light yellow and the dark yellow, you will see blocks. This is called bendings because we miss in between colors. The second benefit is HDR and UHD. You can only claim HDR if you have a 10-bit panel. And I want to say that every HDR product in Thomson or TCL is always using a 10-bit panel. Sometimes competition not using a 10-bit panel, and in fact they could not claim, or they should not claim HDR. So it's mandatory for HDR. Yeah? Then on the next, we're going to talk about color. Still color, but this is not panel. This one, the color gamut comparison, is so-called processing or software. So this is not about the display anymore, it's about the engine or the chipset, like in your laptop, the calculation power, capacity. Competition, TCL, Thomson, always launch or talk about super wide color gamut. What it is exactly? Maybe some of you know this spectrum. This spectrum is a picture just to qualify, to explain what our human eyes can see as colors. So this is the maximum, all the colors which exist and that the human eyes can see. Inside this spectrum, you see triangles. The triangles inside the spectrum explain what the TV can do. Basically, a standard color gamut can reproduce 50 to 75% of the spectrum. So if you calculate the surface of this rectangle versus the spectrum, we talk about 50 to 70%. When we talk about wide color gamut, you see that the green can go greener, the blue can go bluer, more cold, and the red can go more on the warm side, on the reddish side. So this is RGB, red, green, and blue. Basically, it will extend the spectrum up to 70, 80, or even 90% in the coming years. The max is called REC 2020. So this is the name of the standard, and we probably think that within 2 or 3 years, you will see the first TVs with quantum dots as an example. In the market, in 2 years from now, probably, some TVs will be capable to restitute 100% of the color gamut. At the moment, super wide color gamut is a very nice color, it's the best color ever, but it can do only 80 to 90%. So there is still some progress to come, even if it is at the moment the best of the best. This is wide color gamut and quantum dot. So, two benefits. It improves the vividness, but vividness is not everything. It needs to improve also the realistic of the colors. The colors need to be real. For example, today we are on a golf course. If you make the grass too green, it will look plasticky. It will not look really dry. So vividness is important, but also realisticness. And it gives these two elements. That was about color. Maybe you should know in picture quality, the human eyes and the brain can interpret 4 main things. First one is the color. The more colors, the more your eyes and your brain is sensitive to that. Second one are the contrasts. Same for some animals. The eyes of the snakes can analyze the contrast very well. The delta between the black and the white. Yeah? This is contrast. The third is the sharpness. Sharpness means the level of details. Maybe if you take some photographies, you know that. 10 megabits, pixels, and so on. So this is sharpness. And the last one, number 4, is the fluidity, the motion or the movement. These 4 things are really important when you talk about picture quality. So number 2, so we saw the color, number 1. Number 2 is this HDR story is more about the contrast. Contrast and details at the same time. Basically what it does, it's more calculation capacity. So it's software, more calculation capacity to achieve higher contrast level without losing any details. So, to explain, when you capture a movie with a camera, it has a certain level of details in the black, certain levels of details in the white, and along the processing video chain, sometimes some details are lost, and they need to be recreated. Or if the bandwidth is too low, that bandwidth here is too low, some details, some information is going to be lost. HDR is increasing the bandwidth, so there is no loss on this metadata, on this data information. No information is lost. So two main benefits, higher contrast and all details including in the black, all details included in the white scenes. All our 2K17 models are HDR compatible and they are also HLG compatible. I'm not sure if you heard about HLG. Maybe I should explain. HDR is the best picture quality at the moment, but it comes only with certain media support, like Blu-ray players, PlayStation 4 or Xbox. Not everybody has this, but also the broadcasters at the moment cannot broadcast HDR. HLG is the broadcasting prepared version of HDR. It means next year, during the Russian World Cup, the World Cup in Russia, or maybe Olympic Games, you will see broadcasters like BBC. They will start to broadcast sport event, live sport event, in HDR quality. To receive this, the TVs need to be HLG compatible. If they are just HDR compatible, then you cannot receive this live event. You cannot benefit. You will benefit only from so-called SDR picture quality standard. Then, after HDR, we can talk about quantum dots. But I think, yeah, maybe Y color gamut. I can skip this one quickly. And we can talk about UHD premium. Yes. When we launched the X1 last year, so this is the X1, so-called X90, 65-inch. That was the second or the third TV in the world to claim this Ultra HD premium logo. Why? Because TCL is part of a new HD alliance, a consortium. There are 35 members. TCL is part of these members, and we are writing the specs together with other members. A lot of Korean people also, but a lot of broadcasters in this group. All of them sit around the table and they write a number of specs to achieve Ultra HD premium quality. So TCL was able to join that consortium, that group, and also it helped us to launch the first UHD premium product. Basically, we need to comply with 7 strict requirements. These requirements are very strict, of course, and if we comply to these requirements, like high dynamic range, peak brightness, 10 big panel, then we can claim Ultra HD premium logo. If I remember last year when we launched X1, only Samsung and Panasonic could claim the same. Of course, nowadays more and more products on the market are UHD premium. Still about contrast. Maybe you hear about dimming, micro dimming.
Maybe you could pause for a bit to have
Yes.
questions to make it a
Questions
bit more
so far?
interactive. It's a lot of
information.
You have questions? Or,
Questions?
Is that interesting? Yes? Yeah, yeah? Okay. Well, every time I'm still learning. I've been here for some time now, but I'm still learning.
Okay, so this one is about dimming. Dimming is the capacity to affect the brightness, the LEDs, behind the screen in order to affect the contrast. So this is dimming. In TV, there are 2 technologies. There is the so-called direct LED technology. I'm not sure if you heard about that. Direct LED means at the back of the panels, there are some LEDs, and they are all there behind the panel. So I should show this one here. This is direct LED. Very often, the panel, the display, is a bit more thick. Why? Because there are a lot of LEDs at the back. This is called direct LED. There is another technology called edge LED. So this is more that side here. Edge LED means the LEDs are placed on the side or at the bottom of the display. So one advantage, we can reach slimmer dimensions because the LEDs are not at the back anymore, but they go on the side, so it's easier to have slim displays. But of course, on the contrast, it might be less performant. So in order to compensate on the edge LEDs, we do some micro dimming or some ultra micro dimming. It means here, micro dimming, there is one zone which is the complete display, and the complete display can adjust according to the information, according to the content. So on the dark area, we can go darker. On the bright area, we can go brighter. But this is valid for the entire display. So we have to be careful. When it is black, if we go too black everywhere on the panel, then maybe we lose details. Or when it is bright, if we go too bright, it would create some clipping. You know, when you look at the sun in front of your eyes, maybe you don't see the birds anymore. So clipping is the same way. We should not overdrive too much, otherwise we lose details. So this is edge LED. We compensate with a so-called global backlight in order to increase the contrast. It is good contrast, not the best one. Then there is a better version. So this is good, better, best. There is a better version where each zone, so there are 16 zones that can independently be controlled. Example, you are really dark here, then you can switch off the complete LEDs. And if you are really bright here, you can also boost the complete row. This is so-called ultra micro dimming. So much more details in the bright areas and also in the black, and very good HDR. And then the best of the best is direct LED. On the direct LED, you can switch on and off every LED. It means on this logo, which is bright, we put the LED to the max. And maybe on this area, which is a bit more darker, then we switch off the LED, and it has no effect, no impact on the rest of the screen. So this is direct LED and so-called local dimming. So when you hear about local dimming, this is the best contrast ever. Then I think this is all for picture quality. Unless you want to know more, I will skip. Then we can go to the next slides. I think this one we will skip. I will skip faster. Talk design, the movie I will not do. This one I will skip. Yeah, just want to share with you here on this X1, this product, we got excellent journalist reviews. Some are in French, some are in English. Here I made a bit of translations. Some journalists say X1, this product in the middle, is 6 stars and is a must-have. This is the best picture quality ever, a very nice design, finishing, a great JBL sound, so you see the sound bar at the bottom, and it has the latest Android version. So what they say is, they said the X1 over there, 65-inch, is unbeatable value for money, best value for money. Even if you read, they say the best contrast and the best color ever for any TV. So, and even the price was even lower than competition. So some journalists were really impressed. Then we can talk about sound a little bit.
It's very important for us because we play we go in the playground of Samsung and LG, right? In that case, and for us it's very important to have such a flagship product to demonstrate to the world that we can do also outstanding products. And this one, actually, with I think it's 1800 nits, right?
Yes.
Is the let's say the best in the market electronics. So we also overcome competition. So of course, it's difficult to fight with Samsung in that area, but at least if you ask journalists to compare, they see that we have a product that's as good as Samsung, if not better. For us, it's very important.
Yes.
It demonstrates a lot on our ability to innovate in that market.
That's why we want to do more tests also.
Yeah.
Because if we tell you that we beat Samsung in picture quality, maybe you don't believe us. But if the journalist and independent lab will say, maybe you believe in that. So it's quite important to
I
talk
think
about.
they still believe us.
Yes, you still believe me, and you still believe us. Yes? Okay. JBL, yes, something you can believe us also is we have a really good sound. I must tell you, we TCL and Thomson, we collaborate with Harman Kardon and JBL. It means every year when we make a new product, when we develop a new product, example this one, we will send a few samples to Harman Kardon, a lot of samples actually. They will do a lot of tests, and at the end of the tests, they will give us a certificate that we can claim JBL sound quality. So it's very serious. It means also that we need to spend money in real materials. So we come with aluminium or real steel to avoid vibrations. As an example, this is what JBL is asking. They're also asking more space in the loudspeakers area, because as you know, as you may know, the more space, the better the volume. So this is really important. And from a marketing point of view, we don't see many competitors claiming such a good sound. And we know that the competitors are not really good in sound. And we know that the consumers want a good sound. Why? Because like 10 years ago, you had these big TVs, you know, these big CRT TVs. Still remember? Maybe some of you are too young, but I remember those big TVs.
Yes.
Then you have to say yes, you remember. Thank you. And then later, you have the first generation of flat TVs. And what happens? The first time you buy a flat TV 7 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, you could be quite disappointed because the sound goes from a big CRT to a super nice screen, but super flat. You know?
So
It's
it's
like-
still the case, and you have to
Still the
be
case.
5 years old,
Yes.
because you reduce the size of the TV. It's very slim now. Of course, then the sound can't be that great. So that's why we took the angle to also put sound bars built in our TVs in some of our models.
You cannot achieve a good sound in such a slim product or slim TV. You cannot achieve a good sound. So many people have been disappointed. That's why we come back with a really good sound, not only powerful, but also capable to restitute all the details. That was the main benefit of these big CRTs. And you will have a demo later, and we think when you buy such a TV, you don't need a soundbar anymore. So no soundbar. So JBL is asking, well, you can see it's really powerful, high impact, clear sound, a lot of components inside, and this is a system which is called front-firing three-way speakers. Why? Because the front-firing sound is much more clear than the side-firing. If I talk to you like this, or if I talk to you like this, now maybe my voice is a bit more clear because there is no obstacle and I'm directing the voice to you. So you hear me better. The sound system is exactly the same, working in the same way. So JBL, really nice sound, we will have a look to that. We have JBL sound on the C70, so we don't have a C70 here, but we have it on the X90, so the successor of this model, and this is the S99, so we have JBL sound here also. What I want to say is when we don't have JBL sound, so we have the DTS premium sound. So example, this P60 here, this is the P60. doesn't have the JBL, it has the DTS premium sound, which is the same quality as competition, you would say. So if you take a high-end TV from any other brand, they all have DTS premium sound, same sound quality as this P60. For us, P60 is a kind of entry, mid-end level. Yeah, this is not the top of the top. But nevertheless, we put DTS premium sound inside because we know that the sound is important for consumers. Then this is sound, and we have something else which is called interactivity, internet TV, or connected TVs. I'm sure you have mobile phones, tablets. I'm sure you heard in the world there are like 3 operating systems. Apple, they are doing iOS. You heard about, I lost the last, Windows phones, Windows tablets. Well, maybe you don't hear a lot anymore. And you hear about Android, Android phones, Android tablets. Again, when I was younger, I was also working in mobile phones. Many brands were hesitating. Should we do Windows phones? Should we do operating system of Apple? Should we partner with Apple? 10 years later, what you see, you really see Android picking up. You see the winner in mobile phones, in tablets. The clear winner is Android. Now, Android is sponsored by Google. You know that. I cannot tell you who will win in TV, but it is more or less the same story. You have a Korean brand doing Tizen TV, so you could compare that to iOS. It's a closed system. Yeah. You have another Korean brand doing Web OS operating system, so that's LG. They are doing Web OS, also a very good interface, very nice, proprietary, quite closed. And there is another direction, which is Android TV. That direction is open. It means anyone can do Android TV, unless you agree with Google. They send you the development kit. You can do the TV, but you can do the applications also. So we think Android, we think and we see Android will grow much faster than any other operating system. We believe in Android TV, and I will show you later why. So yes, maybe a small clip. I'm not sure if this one will start. I think it's very short. Okay, so Android TV.
You will demo it later.
Yes,
right?
we will demo later,
So
no problem.
Okay.
What I want to say is TCL was already ready last year, and even the year before, to launch Android. But we hear and we know from Google that the 5.0, there was even Android TV 4.0 and 5.0, was not mature enough. It was full of bugs. So TCL decided to wait for 6.0. And we think it was a good choice. Because now when we use 6.0, Android TV 6.0, we see no quality issues. We have no complaints so far on the market. And of course, Android TV 6.0 is much more, I'd say, fast, powerful. And this is the first version that Google has really developed for TV applications. This is really important. In the past, there was an Android operating system, but that was the same system for your tablet, for your mobile phone, and for your TV. That was Android 4.0, 5.0. Now, 6.0 is dedicated to TV. And you can imagine that a TV has a different usage as a mobile phone. On your mobile phone, you don't need such a high resolution. You don't need a lot of fluidity, but you need other stuff on your mobile phone. On TV, you need different things. So this is really important. 6.0 is the first Android TV version developed for TVs, in fact. What can you do? Of course, you can browse, download applications, music, magazines, and the size of the operating system has decreased a lot. It means the speed was increased a lot also. So we can do many things with Android, of course. I will show you in a minute. And on the next slide, I think, yes, you can talk to your remote control. And very soon, you will see in the next coming 6 months, in the next coming year, there will be an Android 7.0 or maybe an Android 8.0 where you can do command control. So now what you can do with the 6.0, by using the search, you can search whatever you want on website or applications. But still you cannot control your TV. You cannot say TV switch on, TV switch off, channel up, volume down. You can say, but the TV will not react. That you still need to do manually. So on the 7 and 8.0, this kind of thing will come, and Google has really a great roadmap for that. You will see some profiling also. Maybe you say, hello, this is Oliver, and the TV will recognize my name and will propose to me the right content. So more things are to come with Android, and we don't see that coming with the other operating system. It will take more time. So voice is important, but you will see the user interface is really important. At the beginning, maybe 5 years ago, when the first smart TVs come on the market, many consumers stop using the smart TVs because they say this is too slow. It's not so convenient compared to my tablet, compared to my phone, which is way cheaper, by the way. On my phone, I can have a phone for 49 euros, and it goes faster than on my TV. Now, with Android 6.0, this is solved. It goes really fast in terms of loading applications, but also in terms of browsing, so what we call the user interface, the UI. Finally, when you type on your remote, the TV will react. And then this is the benefit of Google. Another thing is gaming with Android TV. I think there are, at the moment in Europe, as we speak, around 1,000 new games every week. 1,000 new games are coming on the market. Why? Because you and me, we could develop games by ourselves. If we choose another system like Tizen or WebOS, then we need 500 engineers to create these applications every day. Here we don't need engineers. It's anyone who can develop applications. And you can imagine the big players on that market, the game market. Maybe you know EA Games, EA Sports, developing a lot of new games. Now they are doing it first on Android, because they know that on Android they can reach billions of users, tablets, mobile phones and TVs. If they do it on Apple iOS first, or if they do it for Windows phones, they will reach less consumers. Of course they will do it also on other operating systems, but they first do it on Android, because they reach more consumers. So more games than any other system, and it's catching up really fast. We have a lot of new content every day. I think for Android we can stop there, because of course there is some cast, but I will show it to you. The Google Cast, I will show you how it works. It's very easy, and it's another great benefit. Gaming, we already discussed. I'm not sure I can demonstrate the game. I can show you a game today, but we don't have the joystick, so we cannot play, but we can see. I think another benefit I want to mention is the Hollywood studios, or these big companies like Netflix. Now, when they launch a new service, they do it pretty much first on Android. Because same story, when Netflix is launching their HDR service, so now Netflix is launching 4K HDR premium movies or series, they do it first on Android, because they reach more consumers. So it also gives you more entertainment, more content, more games. Yeah? That's it for the PowerPoint. The rest is just a range summary, but We can also print it later, go through it. Yeah, you see, no need. No? Yeah. Okay.
So basically, what you see here is just this. Yeah.
Yeah. Today in the
This.
showroom,
Yes.
we present the P60.
Yeah. In
So-
the three sizes.
We have a 49, 55, and the 65. Yes. But that one also exists in 43. And, yeah.
Okay. And here you have the X1.
This one. Next one. This one is a product
That
of,
was the previous one here.
yes, the predecessor of the C70 is this one.
T155. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell you the C70 here in the middle is really a nice,
So
nice
this is the one
product, nice
that
design.
it's the one that we are launching those days. This one, but we don't have it yet available, unfortunately.
And we
there's
will have,
going to be also a sound bar, external sound bar, and it's going to be, yeah, you can see it. You can see here. That's good, Justin. You can see here the features here. So
Yeah.
basically, it's HDR Pro on top of what you see, and white color gamut. So there's two differences.
so what you see, this is the TCL range. Huh? UHD starts here. Every time we bring UHD, so we bring 10 bits, we bring HDR, and the range, if you would compare it to Thomson, the TCL range is much more premium. On every TCL model, there is always something more than on the Thomson model. So in terms of picture quality, sound or design, an equivalent TCL model will always have something more than a Thomson model. Example, on the Thomson model, maybe this level of product would be black plastic. Yeah? TCL, we do real brushed aluminum,
Metal.
metal. So this is to show you that the TCL brand, we want and we will make it more premium than the Thomson brand. So this is the
Yeah.
summary.
This is the current range. The new product launching later in June, and this will come in the rest of the year in Q4.
Yes.
X2. We're going to do the replacement for the X1 with quantum dot technology.
Last time I think we showed you the X2. I'm not sure if it was there in the showroom.
Actually, not quantum dot, the QUHD as we say now.
Yeah, I think we will even call it another name, QLED, or we are thinking QLED. Maybe you heard in the news TCL, Samsung forming an alliance or a partnership. So this kind of product, the successor of this one, will be quantum dot or QLED or even better. Yeah, this is launching in September. It will be released at IFA, but you will see really nice X2, so-called X90.
So at this stage, do you have questions, remarks, feedbacks?
You want to walk and stand up and see the products for some demos? Yeah?
Maybe you want people to stand up to do the demos, or you
Yeah, but yes, sometimes I think you need to see the screens, so better if you come as you wish.
what is better?
So this is the 65-inch X1. Yeah, it's a curved TV. Well, now you can see the picture quality. Not the best conditions because you have a lot of light around, but still you see a great brightness. Yeah, this is just what I'm playing now is on the USB. It's HDR content, basic HDR content. And yeah, we can have a look to the picture quality. So now it's starting again, I think, yes. So this one is quantum dot, very nice colors. High contrast with HDR and great level of details. Also the motion is really good. that one was tested as the best picture quality last year when we introduced in November, December. The best picture quality ever. For Android phone, you can easily cast, so it's called Google Cast. You can easily cast your phone if the TV is connected to the same router, of course. So now you see, well, you see my phone on the TV. So what you can see is really I'm casting my phone directly on the TV via Google Cast. So here, if it will show, yes. Well, it's in French, but it's TV Cast. Yeah, very simple. You have nothing to do. You just need to have your tablet, mobile, and TV on the same router. And I think it's even not on a router, it's on a 4G phone. So now we have a 4G phone here. We are using as a hub. And this one connected to the same phone, I can easily share. Yeah? So you can do some funny things, of course. You can do some nice pictures. Yeah. So this is one benefit. What I can do also on my mobile, I can take any picture and I can broadcast it directly on my TV. Now on YouTube or many other applications, there is a so-called cast button here. I'm not sure if you can see, but very often in Chrome or Windows Explorer, you have a cast button. In many applications, you just press on the cast button here, and it says on which TV would you like to cast, because now there are many TVs. So you need to choose cast on this TV in the middle, and then YouTube will start directly on that TV. So now, what I'm doing, I have no clue what the clip is, but maybe you know better than me. I'm not sure what it is.
The yellow group.
What I'm doing, I'm playing YouTube on my laptop from this phone in 3G, and now sending YouTube directly on my TV. And as you can see, the benefit of Android is we don't need a lot of bandwidth. You know, the phone, this is your phone, Goran, or I'm not sure, Igor, this is your phone. You have a nice phone, but still it's 4G. It's 4G, so the bandwidth is not like super wide, and still, now it's my laptop. My laptop is buffering because of the low network, but you can see that Android don't need a lot of bandwidth, a lot of power. From Android, I just wanted to show you the user interface also. In some products like so X1, this product, and also X2 very soon, we deliver the TV with two remote controls. There is a remote control where you can do, well, this remote is visually much more simple. Yeah, this one looks a bit, is nice, but many buttons and quite complex. With this remote, you can easily browse Android, and you can find all your content with this remote.
This is user-friendly.
This is much more user-friendly.
Could you combine those two in one just?
The problem is, if you want to put the some consumers, when they want to see channel 12, they like to press 1 and 2. So the moment you can combine, but if you combine, then you have all these buttons again. The big issue is these buttons here. Well, you are from broadcasting company, I understand. If you want to enjoy channel 279, then you do 279. Very soon, maybe you can say channel 279, and then it will go to channel 279. So not yet, but almost. we can remove some buttons and put them in another way. Yes. So at the moment, some consumers, how to say, some consumers, the younger people, they like this one. My grandmother liked this one. Maybe your mother, I don't know, but maybe you prefer this one.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not sure about your wife or, yeah, you see. So some people have different usage. At the moment, we put both. In 1 or 2 years from now, maybe one is enough. But the other thing is, this remote control is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So, which is adding cost, to be honest. There is some cost. This remote control is just infrared. Why? Because here you have some extra features. Maybe not everyone on this. So here you have the voice search.